Welcome back once again. It is time to take a look at what's happening in the world of markets. I'm Susan Littlefield on the Rural Radio Network. Joining us today is going to be Mike Zuzolo. Mike is with Global Commodity Analytics. And Mike, let's talk a little bit about volatility in this action. What are you seeing in the marketplace at this point?
Well, it seems to me, Susan, that one of the things that'll be nice to talk about more in length on the channel Final Bell is the idea that we may be getting into a volatility time period here because of these extreme outside market forces. That's not unlike what we deal with in the summertime, especially summertime weather rallies. And it seems like the factors have, continuously shrunk in terms of what the trade looks at and tries to price in. But I'm noticing here in the past couple of weeks that we're seeing an even greater whipsaw price action, and kind of looking at it from a saw blade type metaphor. The saw teeth are getting bigger and bigger as far as daily ranges. And so a 15, 20 cent range, maybe even more in the wheat, at 20, 30, 40 cent range in beans, 15 to 20 cent ranges in corn. I'm going to start preparing my clients and subscribers for and treat it this next month, 2 months, a lot like what we deal with in the summer weather markets.
Speaking of weather markets, I was reading, obviously we had some negative 20s, negative 30s, and you guys did as well in Kansas overnight, and all the way down to, say, Texas getting close to zero. What do you see that, and how does it affect this way we're seeing the wheat market trade for today?
It's been interesting because Russia and Ukraine and the Black Sea areas and us here in the Southern Plains and hard red wheat belt have had almost an identical type weather pattern where it's been relatively dry and extremely cold. And the trade's trying to price that in. But to our earlier point, we've got a lot of other factors out there that's really moving the wheat market too. But weather, I think, will become more and more of a concern as we get to springtime, especially after we get a better handle on what the acreage base is. Before we come to that, though, we're going to have to get to deal with whether we have the tariffs come into play on April 1 or not.
And finally, we do have a cattle on feed report that comes out tomorrow. Some early thoughts?
Yeah, my thoughts are we don't know what the placements are going to be. The range on the news wires is about 96 or 98 to 106, so almost a 10% range. On feed number is going to mean everything to me. Are we close to 11.7 million, 12 million head? If we are, there's an ample supply out there, and how do you handle that?
All right, folks, we'll stick around because later on today, Mike Zuzolo and I will dive more into those topics and more during the Channel Final Bell. But don't worry, if you missed the Channel Final Bell, you can pick it up as a podcast at ruralradionetwork.com. I'm Susan Littlefield for the Rural Radio Network.